When you set out to identify and improve your own self-respect, it's important to understand what it is exactly you're striving towards. Self-respect is not a single entity. Just as self-esteem is divided between the components of self-efficacy and self-respect, self-respect is comprised of a number of different virtues that create it as a whole. For instance, you cannot have self-respect if you have not attained self-acceptance. Additionally, you cannot have self-respect if you do not have the qualities of self-purpose, integrity, self-responsibility, self-assertiveness, and a number of other traits that will be discussed later on. It is through the mastering of these virtues that you create a balance of positive influence. And this influence is what fuels and raises your self-respect. The feeling of self can never be escaped. It is at its core your consciousness. And because of this, no matter how we live our lives, we cannot escape coming face to face with a reflection of our actions and seeing our integrity take shape in front of our eyes. When your actions misrepresent the beliefs that you hold as a standard for having good integrity, you'll be struck with a negative emotional consequence. And this consequence may come in the form of anger, depression, embarrassment, self-doubt, fear, anxiety, really any number of negative emotions. Ultimately, though, the result is a lower sense of self-respect. It's a painful process, but pain is a great teacher. Having and raising self-respect relies on the attention and effort we place in living congruently. And when I say congruently, I'm referring to the congruence of our actions and our beliefs to align outwardly. You act from a place that represents the values you hold dear. This is where you give your authentic self to the world. And what do I mean exactly by authentic self? We believe, as human beings, whether consciously or unconsciously, that life should be lived in accordance to our virtues. And these are the virtues that have been instilled in us since our youth. They may be virtues of patience, gratitude, caring, commitment, confidence, courage, dignity, generosity, kindness. The list goes on and on. They are the benchmark of how we perceive an admirable human being to behave. When we go against any of these virtues with our actions, we are devalued in our own minds. When I talk about acting from the authentic self, a common question I receive is, well, how can I act from an authentic place when I have no confidence? How can I grow my self-respect when I'm unable to act from my authentic self out of fear or anxiety? I feel stuck. And the answer to that question may encourage you if you feel trapped in this situation. The action plans I provide in this program are reciprocal in nature. The effort you put in is the outcome you will immediately receive. When it comes to self-respect, simply applying what I'm about to show you to any degree will empower you to keep trying and force you to reconsider the consequences of even your most seemingly benign thoughts and actions. When you exercise your self-respect, no matter how timidly, you are still exercising the action, and that exercise will make you grow stronger and give you the ability to push your efforts further. I ask that you trust the process and just keep putting one foot in front of the other. If you stay motivated and act from a place of never giving up, you will raise your self-respect. In addition, I had previously discussed how to raise your self-efficacy. That is your ability to handle any of life's circumstances and feel confident that you can achieve your goals. Self-respect and self-efficacy feed into one another. When you make one side of your self-esteem stronger, the other side will follow. So moving forward, all of the topics covered will be aimed towards improving your self-respect and your self-efficacy. These two halves to the whole of your self-esteem will be broken down into compartmentalized virtues that you can improve upon step by step through practices shared at the end of each topic. You can start from anywhere, so long as you understand that these topics all work in harmony to create the desired effect of long-term high self-esteem that comes from a well-laid foundation.